Folks, welcome back to another edition of Bullet Point 716. I'm one of your hosts today, Kevin Massare, here at Degenerate, Rob Ryan, and by from at Mike Bundt. UB with a huge regular season ending win over Kent State, 81-67. Things you love to see. Al, tell us what it was like being in the stadium, down in Alumni Arena. Tell us how it felt.
Oh, guys, it was a fantastic feeling. It was just weird, logging off of work today and holy crap, I'm going to a UB basketball game in person for the first time since that would have been the Miami loss, obviously, at home in March last year. And like I said, I had chills, driving down Millersport, seeing Alumni Arena again. And, like I said, being able to be in person, it was definitely eerie walking in. It's very silent, getting your temperature checked. And then there's Maniac, and then they're announcing, Brock Bertram for senior night. So it was a really great experience to be at Alumni.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it. Rob, what are your takeaways watching this game, 81-67, going on a kind of late season tear there after being 4-4 in the MAC, and lots of questions were popping around, rightfully so. A lot from me, a lot from Mike. Rob, what's your opinion on that one so far? 81-67 as you go into Cleveland is now the number 2 seed to face some redemption against Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, they started off strong, then they went on a patch where they allowed Kent to stay in the game all game, which was pretty shocking. They were down their 2 top players, but they still won by double digits, heading to Cleveland, winning 5 straight, 8 of the last 9. I think they're looking like the best team in the MAC right now. I mean, Toledo, they've been up top the whole time, but I mean, I think we're the hottest team going in there. We have one of the best shots out of everyone going in there.
Yep. No, it looks like it. I think their odds right now are number 2 of the conference, not much behind Toledo. Mike, give us your takes. I mean, you've had some Twitter things going on today and tonight, and really need to know what's going on in your head, because obviously you can be just as critical as I can be at times. So love to hear your opinion on how this season finished, and exactly what happened in this game, and with a few fans there at Alumni Arena.
Yeah, I was eating crow on Twitter earlier tonight. Halfway through the season, I thought UB was doomed. I called them a Tier 2 MAC team, which is honestly, that's pretty insulting if you're talking about a team that's done 4 NCAA tournaments. And rightly so, people are giving me crap about it. And you know what? I was wrong. I honestly thought after the start of this year that this team was doomed. I mean, I was disappointed last year when – with Devontae Jordan, with Antoine Johnson, all that talent, they lost in the campus round against Miami, Ohio. And then when I saw them making the same mistakes early on this year, not finishing games, getting off to slow starts, weird things with the rotation, and losing at home, I really thought this team was in trouble. But whatever Weitzel did in mid-late January, getting this new rotation, it really clicked. And to be honest, they're the hottest team in the MAC right now. And while I wouldn't say they're the favorite, because Toledo definitely earns that honor right now, nobody wants to play UB next week in Cleveland because this team is on fire.
Yeah, I mean, 8 out of 9, beating some good opponents down the stretch. Akron came roaring back this week, and you had that double-digit lead. You like to see you keep that lead in those games, but Lauren Christian Jackson is that good. And is a threat alone. As you know, guards do carry conference play here, but going in the number 2 seed, getting redemption against Miami, those are things that you really need to see out of this program, Alan. What's the number one thing you're looking for in Cleveland as the game's at 4 p.m. against the number 7 seed? I guess there is some uncertainty though, because if Ohio, Akron, or Miami don't go, you're looking at a Ball State Western matchup, which is, Western would be a really easy matchup. So what are you looking forward to against this Miami game? Is it really just to get redemption back after dropping the 5-12 game?
Oh, 100%. Being at that game last year in March was miserable. It was a miserable feeling to go home, knowing how excited we were to go to Cleveland that week. That's our tradition. UB's now they've won 4 out of 5 MAC titles. We are still the defending MAC champs. And that was just such a deflating loss. I want Miami so bad to get to the semis on Friday night in Cleveland. And I tweeted out earlier, I got the itch for Cleveland right now. And it really sucks. It's not going to be the same this year as it was 2 years ago, but we're defending champs. Let's get the job done on Thursday and move on to Friday in the semis.
Yeah. And Rob, do you think that other teams are just don't want to play Buffalo right now after 8 out of 9, finally showing that they can at least do something on the under 5, even though they struggled? They did struggle against Akron in the under 5. But, you can't want to play them, winning 4 out of 5 tournaments, winning 8 out of 9, all the experience of winning a title still is on their roster with Graves, even Segou and Williams were there. So what's kind of your opinion as you see UB against you, as Miami has nothing to lose, but those Akrons and Kent, that you just can't want to match up Bowling Green. So is it your opinion that Buffalo does have that target on their back?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've won, like you guys said, 4 of the last 5. I think we're playing the best basketball in the MAC right now, and I saw a stat this earlier today that defensive efficiency for our team this year is basically the same as our top 25 team 2 years ago, and we're scoring at a faster clip right now than we were at some times that year. It was just we were just playing great defense, and I think this team it's more hungrier than the team 2 years ago when they had the expectations. They're going in as defending champs, but they're not the favorites. They're going in as the underdog, and they're going to be ready to show it again.
Yeah, we'll see what the lines look like as we get closer to the Miami game and beyond. We'll see how much they like this UB team in this tournament. Early advanced statistics show that they like them, so we'll see 70th and KenPom moving up. That should score you a 12 seed with a victory. I think Toledo or Buffalo, as long as one of those 2 wins, I do think they'd be looking at a 12 seed in the tournament, 13 at the lowest.
I want that 15 seed against Alabama.
Okay. I mean, if they're we've done it before, right, Mike? So is there a player you need to step up on Thursday? Is there at least start there? I mean, does anyone else have the experience to ride 3 games like this that UB does? Let's get an unbiased view from Mike Bundt.
I don't know if there's a specific player I need to step up. I think the good news about this UB squad is that we're finally getting a bunch of players collectively playing well. Javon Graves, where was this version of him all year? Honestly, this is the Javon Graves I was expecting. He's finally getting a little bit of a scoring touch, getting rebounds, assists. This is a guy that if he plays like this in Cleveland, nobody in the MAC wants to see that version of him, because Jonathan Williams, he's kind of been the same guy all year. He's going to get his 17, 18 points, drive to the hoop, make plays. Rondo Segou, you know what you're going to get out of him. Josh Mballa, I think he could be the X factor in Cleveland. What I think is going to be the most interesting thing about the MAC tournament coming forward is you normally know what to expect from the fan bases. You're going to get a bunch of Akron fans out there. You're going to get Kent State fans. You're going to have the Ohio fans and some Toledo as well. But with the fans not being there, I think that throws a total new element into this, because you're basically playing in an empty arena, and that's different than what these squads have played. They've been playing in gymnasiums all year. It's weird when you're in a 20,000 seat arena and there's nothing there. Now, I know there's going to be some fans, but it's not going to be enough to really make any noticeable difference. I think shooting is going to be the biggest thing. I always reference whenever you have a game against Eastern Michigan at their convocation center, it's a nightmare. You could be the greatest shooting team in the world, and suddenly you're playing in front of 500 fans and you shoot 20%. Whoever can get past that, I think they'll be the team to beat in Cleveland. And for that reason, I don't even want to say one team or another is going to have an advantage, because it could just be whoever's hitting their shots on Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So wait, real quick though, how many fans are allowed?
I think 2,000.
I'm not even sure.
That's still.
How are they doing it? How are they dispersing it?
I've seen it's kind of like how it was at the Bills game. I've heard it's like 2 pods and 4 pods, and I've heard a lot of the 4 pods are already sold out, and they're down to 2 pods. So I did hear that from somebody in Cleveland.
How does it prevent from being all Toledo fans or all Akron fans? How do they?
I don't think it has any.
I don't think there is anything to prevent it. And to be honest, if
people buy them already, they don't know what game they're going to be playing.
That's true too. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to think who's most likely buying these tickets right now, I wouldn't say it's UB fans.
It's Akron, Toledo.
I'd say maybe. I mean,
Toledo
fans aren't that great though. I would assume a lot of Toledo people, probably some Akron people. I mean, what's so weird about this MAC tournament right now is we've never had a season like this before. I mean, Akron and Kent started the year so strong, but they're they're nothing right now. And you look at it, Bowling Green, they have some talent. Bowling Green could be a low seed that surprises some. I know we don't know if Ohio is going to even be in it or not. Trust me, the Bobcats, if they get rolling, they could be dangerous in Cleveland too. I think it's going to be Toledo, Buffalo, or Ohio, or Bowling Green. One of those four is gonna come away. I'm discounting Akron and Kent State already. I don't even care.
Real quick, Massare, for you, what is the scariest potential second round matchup on Friday?
Second round matchup.
Yeah, what do you not want to see on Friday?
I don't want to see Bowling Green. I'd rather play Akron as they're the 3 versus 6 game for sure, and obviously preventing, beside the COVID potential cancellations. But I think they're hot. They've lost a game down the stretch to Miami. They lost a random 7 games in the middle of the season, but were really good otherwise. Bizarre team. But Justin Turner is a guy you don't want to play in the tournament. He's that good. They have something to prove. I do think it's a sneaky 6 seed. I'm not. They beat UB twice. UB played them both twice pretty well, except for that last 5 minutes in both games. And it was a stretch with that during those games. And it kind of started that can UB play under 5? And I just don't want it. They have a finisher. That's why do they struggle under 5, guys? What is the main reason someone would struggle under 5? Pure finisher. Turner is there for Bowling Green. Warrant Christian Jackson's there for Akron. Michael Nuga was there for Kent. Not there anymore. Not as concerned about Kent any longer. Preston from Ohio, he's there. So there's some names to watch out for. UB's a better all-around team than all of them. And I even think Toledo, but they just do not have that game finisher when they're down 1, up 1. That it's going to hurt them at some point. But if they get out to these double-digit leads, it might not matter. So it's important now.
And Kev, I feel like that's been the case since Turner battle. I feel like UB consistently, like with Reggie, before Oates and Hurley came into play, we could never have like that last possession. It was a disgrace. They could never drop a play to have something, every time we'd worry about not even the final 5 minutes. I'm talking that last shot. It's always been a problem for you.
You had Wes Clark.
Yeah.
For one season. That one season, Wes Clark was really good at it. CJ Massenberg's good at it, but guys, remember, he's not a pure ball handler. So that's what you're looking for out of Preston. That's what you're looking for out of Nike Sabandi. That's what you're looking for out of Eugene German. Some of the best players in the conference on bad teams, but they could win games late.
Who is UB's guy? Like, if you do have the ball, one shot, who do you give it to? Because I have a guy in mind, but I want to see if it's the same as you guys.
If I was to say, I'd say I give Graves.
Either depending on like this last few game Graves, yes. If not, then Mbala down low.
It's got to be Graves. I mean, as up and down as his season has been, I think that's who you got to go to. I think that's who you have to ride.
I'm different than you guys. I go Janathan all day.
That's what they did the last game this year, and we didn't win any of them.
You know what though? He's the one guy on the team that I feel confident. Like, he goes to the rack, he's either going to get fouled or he's gonna have a shot. I feel like in the MAC, when you get to these tournament type games, a guy like Mbala, he's so big that they're just not going to call fouls half the time that he gets whacked. A guy like Graves, I just don't trust his shot enough. I love Graves. He's a great player, but I don't know if I trust him to make the right decision at that moment. I'm probably stupid for saying that, but
no, I mean, one for 5 today from 3.
Someone's creating another burner right now for you.
another team's regime is coming on, Mike.
We gotta say that play by Janathan tonight when he freaking Superman to grab that ball. That's like a key in the tournament next week. If you can do those type of plays, you're gonna get putbacks like it's nothing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's huge. And if you look at, Graves down the stretch, he's trying to turn the corner since the Miami, Ohio game on 2-6, kind of the stretch of UB winning. He scored at least 11 points in every single game, including a triple-double against Akron. So, he's picked it up. And the 3-point percentage needs to be there. So if it's a 3, I don't know. Do you go to Rondo? He had a big shot against Syracuse. He's kind of struggled down the stretch, though. He's been my X factor down the stretch, and he's been good ball handler. But there has been some inconsistencies there. So I don't know. That's a problem, guys. If there is a problem, it isn't how talented UB is. It is what's happening in these close games. We all know about free throw percentage. It's what's going to happen in these close games, Al. When you have a Justin Turner on the other side, and it's a 1-point game, and you are playing tempo. We saw it come back to bite them when Kenton was a little bit more healthy with Nuga and Pippen. Who knows about Pippen, by the way? What's going on with that? I mean, I'm assuming they're going to suit him up against Ohio.
That was like right before the game, right? That news came out?
Team decision. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if he was out.
Huh?
I wouldn't mind if he was out.
Oh, of course. We were all.
If you're an Ohio fan. Yeah. If you're an Ohio fan, why not? I mean, I'd love to see Ohio Toledo. I'd like to see what happens in that game. I think that's a very interesting game that will eliminate a potential contender for UB and not have to play one themselves.
Ball State. Ball State beat Toledo earlier this year already. I mean,
they're playing right now, right?
How did they do today? Toledo won.
Okay.
Ball State has some talent. Ball State's not going to be a gimme for Toledo.
Yeah, neither team are playing for anything today, so you can't take a ton out. Neither there was a 1-8 for sure locked in, so we can't really take a ton out of that game. But it is. I mean, you're right. Ball State did beat them both at full strength, so that could be an interesting matchup. If Ball State wins that early, Bowling Green wins early. You have a couple of contenders just out before the semis. UB needs to take advantage against Miami, Ohio, probably the weakest team in the bracket. Just like they were last year, guys.
Yeah.
They need to take care of business.
I mean, I think UB last year was what? They were double-digit favorites, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
The defense failed them in that game. I thought they played pretty well offensively. Late in the game, they just couldn't get a stop. They couldn't stop Sabandi. Sabandi's a Power 5 player who just said he's coming back, by the way. He always balled against UB, and that's what I'm talking about. You need that pure finisher. Does Graves ride this wave to be a finisher for his final, potentially, looking like his final season as a UB Bull? So we'll see how all of this turns out.
Kev, great point to make. Mike, what were you just seeing from Graves? Was it Twitter, Instagram?
Yeah, I don't have it here, but he mentioned about playing his last game. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. Just be 1 second. He tweeted out, "Crazy how time flies. Just played last game at Alumni Arena. Thankful for all the memories here. Few more wins to go." So, I mean, there was the possibility he could have returned for another season if he wanted to, with the exceptions that they made this year. But looks like he's already made up his mind that he's going to be moving on after the end of the season. Really, if that is the case, you can't really blame him. A lot of these guys, they're not going to want to be in school for a fifth, sixth year. And if he sees himself as a professional, even if it's overseas, eventually you want to cash in when you have the opportunity.
Hey, you can make a decent salary overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you see, a lot of players go over there. And I was a 6th-year senior at UB on purpose so I could see the first MAC title. I'm going to say that right now.
Okay.
6th-year senior.
Van Wildale doing his thing to get to watch to see a win in Cleveland.
That's a fact.
I was a 4-year guy, so if that's what Graves is after, I can appreciate that going to UV. I wanted to be done at 4 and hit the workforce, so I understand if that's his decision. But guys, is it Power 5 for Graves though? Is he going Power 5?
I mean, if he wants to. A Power 5 program will take him in a second.
Yeah.
Antoine Mason from Niagara University played at Auburn. So, Graves could play at – Graves could play.
Guys, how about this? Alabama?
I don't think you'd be good enough for Alabama.
Okay. Wow.
That's how – I mean, they're recruiting class.
How they're playing, they don't need him with how they're playing. Like, they can go 5-star like that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
They give Rojas minutes.
You see that?
I mean, guys, Alabama right now, 13-1 to win the national title. 4th best odds out of any team.
You know what's crazy?
2 years after leaving.
They've never even gone to a Final Four there. In that program's history, they've never even gone to a Final Four.
2 years into being him hired, how many did he win here? He won 3 here, right? No, 4 here?
Oates 2.
Oates only won. No, Oates
did 3.
Well, Oates went to the tournament 3 times.
Oates won 3
Yep.
4 years. 5 in 4 years.
Yep.
5 years, whatever it was. And
3
now
and 4, and Hurley was 1 and 2. Yeah.
now he's going to be a 2 seed in his second year. That's crazy.
I was talking to Maniac tonight. Could you imagine this UB squad if if Oates stayed?
We would be where Alabama possibly is up there.
It's crazy to think about.
You know what the thing though, is, like, there's no reason, like, and this is why I get hated on by UB fans, but there's no reason why, like UB's good, but there's no reason that they shouldn't be even better at this point.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, yeah, they lost the recruiting class that Oates had, and they lost the graduating seniors. But last year they had Devontae Jordan, they had Segu and Williams, who were both 4-star recruits in sophomore years. They had Javon Graves, who people were expecting to be a MAC Player of the Year caliber type guy. Transfers Antoine Johnson, who was a double-digit scorer. You had Josh Mbala, who honestly looks like the Shaq of the MAC. And
Hardnett. You had Hardnett.
You had Hardnett, and then
Nickelberry,
who Kevin probably never wants to hear his name again. But, like, no joke. Like, that team last year, they could have won 25, 26 games. They were the most talented team in the MAC.
I mean, I got a hot take. That team was better than this team. Sorry. It was more talented. Yeah. I don't know. They just didn't put it together. On paper, they were better for sure.
And so, like, the truth is, like, how much different really would it have been if Oates was here and Whitesell wasn't coaching? I think the difference would have been the mentality. Would Oates have accepted some of the lackadaisical performances at home where they were losing to teams like Army? No, Oates would have killed him. He would have murdered those players on the court. So, like, I think that's kind of the biggest difference. While because, like, they still play kind of similar, but who knows? If Oates was here, I think they would have had more of that winning mentality earlier. But credit to them to finish second this year regardless.
That's a great point, Mike, and one we'll definitely want to get into a little bit more as this tournament rolls on. And if there's an early exit, I have a slight feeling we might have a discussion about that next weekend. So we'll see where all that goes. Maybe not, though. Maybe if he proves himself just like Oates was able to do, maybe we won't go down that road. And Kevin and Mike have to both eat some crow here next Saturday night from Cleveland. But, guys, great show. Super good 25 minutes of action-packed stuff. Watch out for Bullet Points to come out with some good content this week. I mean, it's been we'll get a pregame show in. We'll get maybe a tournament preview for everyone watching that wants to see what some players to watch for in the MAC tournament. We'll bring that at you guys. But I hate to go, but we have to wrap this up, and we'll get into our predictions next week. Obviously, show sponsor, shout out to Manscaped. Get out there and get Manscaped. What a great product. Really enjoyed speaking with everybody today, but from Alumni Arena for Ale, really. But good night now.